I know the takeover's blending, and I come into a town near you. I keep moving around until man hears you. I live from your house, I see my clear through. And you know I bring the gang with me, man 9 to 5, but man stand with me. Trying to expand quickly, still got gas from and Pitney. Chill, man grab chickly, man get from the one side, that's literally. Chill, shit, talk,
oh, she running away with a crew. She wanna hop in this bitch.
Okay. So listen, guys, we're about to get started right now. First and foremost, just so that I know that every single person is ready, how they came up. Wait, what? Oh man. Yeah. So listen, just to make sure that every single person is really ready. I want to know. Listen, if you're excited for the week to come, not even just for this call, but for the week to come, because you know that you're about to attract some abundance into your life right now. You're about to hit some pinnacles. You're about to elevate this week. I want you to drop a 777 in the chat box right now, just so that I know, just so that I make sure that we are, in fact, on the right call and that every single person here is ready to elevate. Cool, we've got quite a few people. We like to see it. We like to see it. Listen, today, I'm actually going to be sharing a story. It's a really very, very powerful story, right? So you guys are going to have to really bear with me as I break it down, because I don't know how long it's going to take for me to break down the story, but check it out, right? So the scenes are in China, right? Literally in China. There's a gentleman by the name of Jack Lau, right? And Jack Lau, he's the kind of person who probably a lot of people in the school can relate to be honest with you, in a sense where he's always kind of known he wants to be successful, right? Like he's the kind of person who, when he wakes up, he's just hungry. Like not hungry for food, but I mean hungry for success. He's like, you know what? Like in 5 years' time, I'm going to do this. In 2 years' time, I'm going to do this. In 3 years' time, I'm going to be traveling around the world. In fact, next year, I'm going to be able to do this. I'm going to be able to do that. And these are kind of the main thoughts that are on his mind, like so much of the time. But the problem for him was that he just never really had kind of an opportunity to actually go ahead and make that happen. In fact, he was really just thinking to himself, wow, like, what can I do to actually actualize this? What can I do to actually take myself to the next level so that I can manifest this stuff into the physical realm? It's not just me thinking it, I want it to actually happen, right? And he came up with the idea because he realized that the Chinese bamboo market was absolutely booming, right? Like literally the bamboo sticks, the bamboo trees, like most of you guys know what that is, right? It was booming, right? Literally, he had an idea that all he needed to do was just get a load of bamboos, and through that, he was going to make multiple six figures, pretty much guaranteed, right? So in order to go ahead and get these bamboos, because bamboos weren't easy to come across, right? What he decided to do is he's like, you know what? Okay, cool. I'm actually gonna grow some bamboos myself, right? Because that's gonna be the best way. That's gonna be the way that I'm going to be able to make sure that I can get as much bamboos as I want. So he actually had enough money to go ahead and buy a farm, right? So he bought a farm and he planted these seeds, these bamboo seeds, right? He went hard. He went digging. He planted the seeds everywhere, all across the whole entire farm. Like that was the only thing that he wanted to populate on that farm, right? So you can tell that he's already coming into this with a right mentality. He's coming into this with an all or nothing mentality. He's not leaving any space anywhere to plant anything else, because he's like, you know what? I'm all in. Like I am going to make this happen, right? And what he started to do, like to be honest, maybe a lot of us started this way. Like I know, for example, for me personally, when I first got into the industry, I was really like this, where I was not really consistent, right? So this is what he was doing. He would kind of water the seeds some days. He would sort out the soil, sort out the fertilizer some days, and some days he wouldn't. And he was really going on like this for a few months, right? Luckily enough, he actually had a mentor, and he kind of asked his mentor for advice one time, because it had been around 5 months or so, and he wasn't seeing anything. Like he wasn't seeing anything grow, and he was like, yo, like where's the bamboos at? It's been 5 months. Like I've been here, I've bought this farm. Like where's everything at, right? And his mentor, he said to him, listen, Jack, like you have to do this every single day. Like you have to actually be consistent, right? Like we all know that consistency is a very important thing, and Jack learned this, right? So he started to take that on board. He started to listen. He was like, okay, cool, fair enough. That makes sense. So that's probably why I haven't had the success that I want to have yet. So what did he do? He started to really, really, really be consistent, right? More consistent than most people would be, right? Every single day, without fail, whether it was Christmas, whether it was raining, whether there was a storm, whether there was thunder, he would be outside watering his seeds, right? And it's crazy because every single day he would check it. He would be like, cool, like he's looking to see what has developed so far, right? He's like, okay, cool. Yo, there's nothing here yet. There's nothing here yet. It's been a whole month, and he's been consistent every single day. It's been a month, so now it's 6 months in total, right? It's been a month, and he's still not really seeing much, right? It's now been a year, right? It's been a year now, and he's still, and when I say he's not seeing much, I mean literally, there's nothing. Like, there hasn't even been a single sprout that has come from this soil, right? So he's like, okay, cool. You know what? It's been a year. I've been doing this really consistently for a year, right? So he goes back to his mentor. He's like, yo, like, what's wrong now? Like, I've been consistent. I've done everything that you've said that I should be doing. And his mentor, he said, listen, you just got to see it through. Like, you just got to have faith. Understand that it's going to work out. You just have to keep it consistent, man. And so he listened, right? He listened. He was like, you know what? This mentor has the level of success that I want. I'm going to actually continue plugging in, right? So he continued plugging in consistently. Every single day he's checking to see what has grown. Every single day there was nothing, right? It got to another year. It was actually 2 years in. And now he was getting to a point where he was like, yo, like, it's been 2 years. Like, I've been doing this every single day. Like, he had been doing it he wasn't one of those people that was kind of doing it here and there, like he was at the start. Every single day without fail, he was showing up and he was doing what needed to be done. He wasn't doing anything wrong, right? So now he's feeling a little bit frustrated. But he understood, you know what, no, I just got to have this faith, man. Like, my mentor's telling me all the time, I just got to have this faith. And I know that this is going to work out, but I just need to keep it consistent. So he kept going. He really kept going. He really just kept going, right? And it got to 3 years in. In fact, it actually got to 3 years in, and his friends started to say, yo, like, in fact, they were saying this along the whole journey, but 3 years in, it started to hit him because they were always saying to him, yo, like, you've been doing this for how long? So you've been doing this for 2 years. Where's the results? Like, they were always ridiculing him. They were always putting him down. They were saying, yo, like, where's your success then? Where's your six figures? They're laughing at him because, look, he don't have anything to show for it. Sometimes they'll go to his farm and they'll just be like, yo, like, where's the bamboos there? Like, I don't see anything. Then they're just walking across the floor. They were like, yo, listen, if there was bamboos here, surely I wouldn't be able to walk across this mud, right? And it was after 3 years, it really just started to get to him. In fact, after 4 years, sorry, it really just started to get to him. He was like, you know what? Like, maybe they're right. Like, maybe my mentor is he's just a crazy guy. Like, he's just telling me this stuff for no reason. Like, he's telling me just keep just going, keep watering these seeds. And it's not making sense. Like, nothing is happening, right? And nothing was happening. Like, literally 4 years, and there's not a single thing that has come out, right? And now it's really just starting to get to his head there. And he's like, you know, I'm going to keep it moving. But he wasn't really bringing the same energy anymore. But he was still doing it just because he was just thinking, what else can he do type thing. So he kept going. A few months later, 5 months. So it's been like 4 years and 5 months, right? Now he's at a point where he's like, no, you know what? Like, this is enough. Like, I'm just wasting time. Like, I could be doing anything else. Like, this is stupid. Like, this guy, he doesn't know what he's speaking about. I'm not going to listen to him anymore, right? I'm out. I give up. I quit, right? And what he did is he was just thinking, cool, like, how am I going to get rid of this farm? Like, he made the decision that he's getting rid of it now, right? So how am I going to get rid of this farm? Like, who wants to buy a farm? He was literally at a bar. Coincidentally, he was just at a bar. He was just speaking about his problems. You know how people do at bars? I don't know, I haven't really been to a bar, but I see it in Simpsons and stuff like that. That's what they're doing in Simpsons, right? They're just sitting there at the bar, speaking about their problems and stuff like that. He bumped into someone, and he was speaking to them, and he was like, yo, like, listen, like, his name's Chris, by the way. Listen, Chris, like, it's just I've got this farm, and I've been trying to grow these bamboos for 4 years and 5 months, and like nothing is happening. Like, I just don't know how to get rid of it. Like, how can I get rid of it? And Chris said to him, like, because Chris was also a similar kind of mentality, right? He also had the mentality where he wanted to be successful, right? But he was like, yo, listen, come on, man, like, you just gotta keep going. But Jack wasn't listening. He was like, nah, man, forget that. I'm not an idiot, right? I'm not an idiot. Like, this stuff doesn't work. All of my friends are right. All of my friends, they're telling me it don't work. And it's right, because it's clearly not working. It's been 4 years, right? Anyways, what he said is, you know what? Chris said, listen, I'll buy it from you, right? So Jack was excited because he was like, yo, I want to get rid of this farm. I will 100% sell it, right? So he sold it for like $30,000, right? And he's excited. He's like, yo, $30,000, I'm lit. Yo, this guy is confused. He's sick in the head. He just bought this thing. It was literally empty soil for $30,000. He's a clown, right? Anyways, what happened was that Chris obviously went to the farm. He started doing his thing, whatever. But in the meantime, what Jack did is he was like, yo, I'm going on holiday, man. This is lit. Like, I'm celebrating this $30,000 that I just got. Bear in mind, by the way, his idea was a multiple six-figure idea, pretty much guaranteed. We're not, like, as in the game plan was set. Like, his mentor was already a multiple six-figure earner, so he knew what the game plan was, right? But anyways, he was like, you know what, this 30,000, like, it would do. You know what I'm saying? It's better than nothing, right? So he went on holiday. He came back. Like, he was going around the world, to be honest. He was living his life. He was doing the stuff that he wanted to do. He obviously didn't spend the whole 30,000, but when he came back after 5 weeks, right? And he came back. He kind of went, because he was feeling the kind of energy that his friends were feeling. He was like, you know what, like, let me just go to the farm and just laugh at Chris. Just be like, yo, like, where's your bamboos type thing, right? He wanted to kind of pay that energy forward, right? So he went to the farm, and he thought that he was at the wrong farm, right? Like the same farm that he was at for 4 years and 5 months, right? Sorry, 5 years. It had been 5 years by then, right? 5 years. The same farm that he was at for 5 years. And he's seeing these bamboo trees that are literally 90 feet tall. 90 feet tall, right? And for those of you guys who don't know how big that is, right? Like most of you guys know that I'm a pretty tall person, right? I'm probably like 6'4", 6'5". So imagine like for 14 or 15 of me just stacked up, and literally loads across the whole farm. That's the size that 3 houses on top of each other. That's the size that these bamboo trees have grown to, and they had grown to that size within 5 weeks.
Sorry?
And the crazy thing is that Chris
yes, but I'm gonna finish in 2 minutes.
Chris didn't do anything different, right? Like he just did the same things. By the way, for the record, Jack actually connected Chris with the same mentor that he had as well. There was nothing different that he did. All he did was follow the same instructions as his mentor, as his mentor. And he just kept it consistent, kept watering the seeds, etc., for days and days and days. But it was 5 weeks. After 5 weeks, that's when everything blossomed, right? And I say that to say this, right? If Jack was to have just continued to kind of just stay consistent, just for the extra few months, right? Because obviously he gave up around 4 years and 5 months in. When it got to that time period of 5 years, that's when it started to grow. Like that's when it started to really blossom. That's when you started to see the first little bits, right? That's when within 5 weeks, after 5 years of seeing nothing, within 5 weeks it grew to 90 feet. And this isn't some miracle story or whatever. Like you can literally research a bamboo tree and you'll find out that that's actually how bamboo trees grow. Like within 5 years, you don't see anything, but it's not that they're not growing. Like it may be a misconception that, oh no, it hasn't grown. Like no. It's been growing, but it's just growing the roots. Like it's growing the foundations. It's growing the foundations, but Jack didn't see this. Like Jack didn't understand it. So he gave up. And imagine how frustrated he was feeling when he saw months later, years later, that Mr. Chris, who he sold the farm to, was not only a multiple 6-figure earner because he utilized all the ideas, he actually became a multiple 7-figure earner because the ideas were just a lot better than Jack even imagined, right? And I say that to say this, guys, like this story right here, it teaches a few different concepts, right? A few different very, very, very powerful things. And one of them is really that faith and that trust in whoever it is that you're following, right? Literally the faith for the fact that, listen, the journey is going to take you to where you need to go. And Jack had that faith. Look, most of us, we have that faith. We have that faith when it's easy to be excited. But then when it gets to a certain point where it's like, oh, you know what? It's been a little while longer than I would have wanted this to happen. All of a sudden, the faith starts to just go down a little bit for some kind of weird reason, right? But that's why Jack lacked, and that's why Chris was the one that was able to have all the success when he was only doing this for like 5 weeks, or sorry, like 7 months. When you account for the extra 7 months, like 7 months and 5 weeks, right? Just because he had the faith. But by the way, Chris, when he got started with the farm, he had that commitment. He was like, you know what? I'm not going to make the same mistake as Jack. Regardless of if it takes me a year, regardless of if it takes me 5 years, I'm just going to consistently plug in. I'm just going to consistently water these seeds. And I'm going to consistently do any single thing that my mentor says to do, simply because he has the results. Like he knows what he's speaking about, right? So that's the number one thing that you guys can really learn from that, right? That faith, right? And the other thing, in fact, before I even move on to the other thing, I just want to make sure that everyone's understanding the story. Like, is this story is this story blowing your mind so far? If it is, just drop an amen or a yes. In fact, I'm not even gonna say amen. Just drop a yes in the chat box. Like, if it's really like, it's really, yeah. Don't be a Jack. Be Chris. Be Chris. Like for real. Like you have to have faith on this journey, right? But it's not only just about having faith. It's also about not listening to the naysayers. Right? Because understand that his friends were all putting him down. And it started to get to him. It really did, right? That was one of the key things that even knocked his faith. Because you can have all this faith in the short run. And the short run, it may even seem like you may have faith for a few months. You may have faith for a year. But then all of a sudden, the things that your friends saying, they just start to seem logical, because you're like, wow, yo, he's actually making sense. Because it's been 1 year and I haven't had anything. The crazy thing about this story is the fact that in this particular case, there was literally nothing for 5 years, right? But most of us, we may be having a little bit of profits, or we may be growing a little bit of a team, we may be doing a little bit, but just not as much. We just don't. We're not wealthy yet. We're not millionaires yet or whatever. And we want to think, oh wow, I haven't done anything. The reality of it is that you actually have done something. Like, first and foremost, I want you guys to really recognize that. Like, if you've actually been in this business for a little while, whether that be a few weeks, whether that be a few months, whether that be a year, whatever it is. I don't think there's anyone in the school that's been in the business for more than a year or a year and a half, but whatever that may be. And if you feel like you haven't had the level of success that you actually expected to have by this point, I want you to really think and actually recognize the fact that you have actually had something, and you have actually had progression. Like, you've grown as a person, number one. I can pretty much guarantee that. Number two, you've probably already been profiting on your trades. And if you haven't, then you've learned a lot. You've learned a lot. You've learned a lot. So now you just got to continue plugging in, continue learning, continue having that faith and understanding, wow, I'm in a system where any single person can actually make this happen. Like, you guys already know the value of trading. You guys already know the value of building. So now it's just about actually having the faith to actually stick it through. And again, going back to the topic of not listening to the naysayers, not listening to the people who are trying to put you down, right? You got to realize that, again, like, I'm not sure if I've spoken about this on one of my mindset calls or not, but it's the fact that people will try to put you down simply because it's easier to put someone down than to actually lift them up, right? But understand that someone can try to, let's say, for example, you're elevating higher than someone, right? You're elevating higher than someone. Now, like, if you're close friends with them, like if you're friends with them, like you're in their circle, they're used to seeing you all the time, it starts to get uncomfortable for them. Because now you're just so much bigger. And it's like now they want to bring you down, whether that be consciously or subconsciously. Because a lot of the times, like, your friends will say, yeah, like, I want the best for you and stuff like that. But a lot of the times it's just the fact that they only want you to do either as good or not as good as them. Like, when they see you doing better, like, you know what? No, like, they want to start knocking you down, right? So that could be one thing. But the other thing is literally the fact that, okay, cool, you may not be having any results at all. Because that's the example of if you are having success and people are trying to knock you down. But if you're not having any results at all, a lot of the times people are expressing their own fears within themselves, because they don't believe that they would be able to be consistent over that long period of time. So they see someone like you continuing to plug in, continuing to be consistent, and continuing to really have vision and faith in the process, and they don't have any vision in their life. Because how many of us know people that just don't have vision? Like, they just don't have vision, and it's nothing against them. It's just simply a fact. They just don't have vision for the future. Like, they just don't know what they're doing. Like, they're literally in a system where they're going to work, they're getting back home. They're going to work, they're getting back home. Oh wow, it's Saturday. Oh man, it's Sunday tomorrow. That means it's going to be Monday the next day. Then it gets to Monday, and then they go to work, and then they get back home, and then it goes to Tuesday. And it's just a repeat cycle. And a lot of times people are literally just living for the weekend. And it's crazy because when we say the weekend, again, most people's weekend is 1 day. And the reason I say it's 1 day is because, again, Saturday is the day where they're all excited. Or for Friday, they're excited, but they've only got like a few hours of the day anyways after work. But then Sunday, again, they're just thinking, wow, tomorrow's Monday. And it's like, so many people, because they're in this system, right? Because they're in this cycle, as Samir just mentioned, right? When they see someone else that has the vision to actually get out of it and is actually putting in the work, they just want to ridicule it in as much ways as possible. Regardless of whether you're having results or regardless of whether you're not, understand that even if Jack was the person that was having some of the bamboo trees growing, people would still be ridiculing him, right? So you got to understand that. And you really got to understand that, again, regardless of what other people are saying, you got to understand that you're on your path. You really have to know where you're going. Know that you're going to have the success. And that's another thing as well. Like, someone mentioned this in the chat box earlier. It's really, and I'm not going to speak about it too much right now. I know I have spoken about it before as well. It's just the fact that you got to be selective with who you surround yourself with. Like, be very selective. And again, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but you have to be selective, man, because understand that as much as you may think, okay, cool, I'm not going to listen to these people I'm not gonna listen to them. Like, cool, like they could be on my case saying, oh, like this, that, oh man, like you're not gonna have success in this. Oh look, it's been 2 years and you haven't even done anything. It's been 1 year, it's been 5 months, it's been 1 week, and you haven't even made any profits. It's been 2 weeks and you're still on your double account. It's been 2 months and you're only making £100 a month. It's been 5 months and you're only making 10,000 per month. Like people say the most ridiculous things, right? But if you're surrounding yourself with these people, like as much as you may say, you know what, no, it's fine because I'm not going to listen to them. The reality of it is, cool, your conscious mind might not listen to them, or your subconscious mind will. And then all of a sudden, like, that's even worse, because when your subconscious mind listens to these things, understand that it gets to a point where now you think that these ideas are your ideas. Because all of a sudden you start to think, hold up, yo, I've been doing this for like 5 months and I've only got to this level, I've only got to that level. And you think that's your own thoughts, but it's not. It's just the thoughts that are coming out of your subconscious mind because of what has been drilled into you consistently over time because of the people you've been surrounding yourself with. That's why, for me personally, I really had to be very, very selective with who I was spending my time with, because it was just like there were certain people in my life who were very negative, and a lot of them were family members, right? But I just had to really understand that, yo, like, it's all fun and games, me really just staying around these people just because like they're family, or just because they're friends, or just because I've known them for years and years and years. But understand that sometimes you have to really understand like what's going to be the best thing for you, and what's going to be the best thing even for your family, because understand that it's going to be in your family's best interest for you. And by the way, I'm not saying to cut your family or anything, I'm just telling you guys my personal perspective on it. But it's like you have to think, okay, cool, it may even be better to not be around this certain person. Let's say, for example, you have a lot of love for them, but you know that they just bring you down. By you allowing yourself to elevate, you can actually help them more in the future. But again, as I said, I'm not even going to speak about that topic too much, because different people have different perspectives on it. But the other thing that this story really tells you, right? So we've got faith. We've got like not listening to what people are saying around you, not allowing people's views to actually affect you, and being selective with who you actually do surround yourself with. In fact, guys, if you do understand that second concept, I want you to drop a 222 in the chat box, because I'm not sure if everyone understands it, if everyone agrees, because I know people have different perspectives. That's why I don't want to go into too much detail. For the people that know me personally, you guys will know my opinions on those kind of things, but that's perfectly fine. But listen, so look, we've got a lot of people that agree, and that's lit. But look, the third thing is really just the power of persistence. And this is a topic that I speak so heavily about, and it's because it's so true. Like just being persistent. Like there's such a power in just being persistent, and that it kind of comes along with the faith, because as you have the faith, like that's what's going to allow you to be persistent. But the reason it's so powerful is because, again, you could be just about to have your breakthrough. Like understand, you could be just about to have your breakthrough and you just give up. You could be just about to have that one little piece of understanding that was missing from your trades, that was going to take your accuracy from 30% to 70%, just from that one little tweak. And you were going to learn that from this one go live session that you just didn't watch because you were like, you know what, I'm not even feeling it today. Or you know what, I'm not even feeling it too. I'm just going to give up on myself completely, right? You could have just been about to speak to that one person. But the thing is, like, you can say it would be gut-wrenching. Gut-wrenching? Yeah, like, I understand what you mean. And it totally makes sense, right? You would think, wow, like, that would feel so bad. But the crazy thing about it is that you would never even know. Like, you wouldn't actually know until you just start to see the people that you actually work with, and you start to see them elevate. You start to see the people that were struggling when you gave up, and you start to see them hit 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures. You just start to see them traveling around the world. You're like, yo, hold up. I should have just stayed consistent. Like, now look at me. Like, what have I even done in my life now? This person's impacted all of these lives, and what have I done? What have I done? And you really get to that point where you just feel so hopeless, just because you gave up, just because you didn't remain persistent. Like, you guys have to really have that mentality of, listen, like, never quit. Like, you literally can't ever quit. Like, if you really made a commitment to go next level and to go 6, 7, 8, 9 figures in trading, and to go chairman 10, chairman 25, chairman 50, chairman 500, chairman 1000, right? Whatever it is, like, if you've made that commitment, you have to see it through. Because understand that you don't know how close you are to actually making it happen. Like, you guys could be in a situation right now where maybe, for example, I've spoken a lot about trading, so I'm going to speak a little bit about building as well for the people that are building the impacts, right? So let's say, for example, you're building this business, and it's like you've been building, I don't know, you're trying to hit P150, and you've just been speaking to so many people, and it's like, man, like nothing's happening. Like no one is getting started, right? Yo, the amount of people that I spoke to before I even hit P150, let's not even speak about that. That's a whole topic for another day. But it's like, you could be speaking to all these people and you're like, nothing's happening. Understand that just like the bamboo tree, that it seemed like nothing was happening, a lot is happening because you're going through this process, right? And then once you do hit P150, okay, cool. Like now you've got a lot that you've actually learned. Okay, cool, you might already be P150. Maybe you're P600, maybe you're P1000. And you're just struggling to go to the next level. You're like, man, it's time for me to go P1000, man. Like, what's happening? Like all of these setbacks, all of these challenges, all of these people leaving my business, all of these people that I'm pouring so much value into because I genuinely want to help, but they're just not understanding it. Like, yo, like nothing's happening. Like, I should be P1000 by now. Look at these people elevating to P1000. This man to understand that during this time, it's not that nothing is happening. Cool, nothing might be happening in your back office. Your back office, the numbers might be the same. They might have even gone down. That doesn't mean that nothing's happening. That means that it's happening behind the scenes. You're building your foundation, not just in terms of your organization, not just in terms of the people that you're working with right now, but you're building yourself, right? Because again, as soon as you get to that pinnacle point where you've built yourself enough to be a chairman, look, you don't have to be a P5000 to be ready to go chairman. I hope you guys realize and understand that. You don't have to be a P1000 to be ready to go P2000. You just have to build yourself to be the person that you need to be in order to be P2000. And that happens through the process. That happens through the moments where it's like, yo, nothing's happening, man. Nothing's happening, but it is happening. And the reason I say that is to say this because, look, again, going back to that bamboo tree example, the bamboo tree it's grown and grown and grown over 5 years. And as soon as it's ready, look, after it's growing the roots, After 5 years, it's ready to just shoot through. Start to shoot through, and it just flies through. Why? Because it's ready to grow. It's ready to actually achieve the things that it's been waiting to achieve for 5 years. So it doesn't matter necessarily how long it's going to take you, right? Like it really doesn't. Like it really doesn't. Obviously, you set your goals and success loves speed. You really want to go hard and don't use that as an excuse not to go hard and not to have urgency and not to set big goals and short goals. But understand that if you don't hit them, you just got to keep it moving, regardless of how many goals you set that you've missed. Like the amount of goals, the amount of times I said, oh, I want to hit P1000 by this day. I want to hit P1000 by this day, by P1000 by this day, and I never hit. But I understood it doesn't matter. Okay, cool. Okay, like, I didn't hear, but okay, what did I do wrong that I didn't hear? You know what I'm saying? Or it could be trading. Oh, like, man, I want to be on my live account by this day. I want to be on my live account by this day. And then you're just not having a consistency yet, so you don't hope it doesn't matter. Because you understand that just through one trade, imagine you're just there, like literally in 5 years' time or in 2 years' time, however, whatever time period it is, right? And you're just there, and you just wake up. Imagine, yo, this just came to my head right now. Imagine you're sleeping, right? And you're dreaming. And in your dream, you're thinking about where you were 2 years ago. And this is where you are today, right? And it feels so real. It feels like, wow, like, man, like, damn, I was so broke back then. Like, but again, you're in the dream, so it seems like it's a current state. And it's like, wow. Man, like I was struggling to even make, like, I'm struggling to even make £5 a day, struggling to even make £10 a week. I'm struggling to even make positive profit. It's always negative. I'm struggling to even hit 2 wins in a row in my trading account. And then you wake up and you're like, whoa, like that was a nightmare. And you look at your phone, right? You look at your MetaTrader 4 and you see, you press the day just to be like, yo, like, let me just remind myself of where I'm at right now. And you see 6 figures. You see 6 figures. You're like, and that's the day. Just after 2 years, after 5 years, after 6 years, like whatever time period it is. Understand that it's going to be worth it, but it will never be worth it if you just quit. It will never be worth it if you just give up. Imagine, again, going back to the building as well, because for those of you guys who understand the value of the empires, you're like, wow, okay. You wake up. This time it's a Friday. And you wake up, right? Like you're sleeping, you're thinking, wow, man, everyone's leaving my team. Like in your dream, you're thinking about where you were 2, 3, 4 years ago. And it's like, oh man, this is crazy. Everyone's leaving my team. I'm pouring into everyone. Nothing's happening. And then you wake up. You wake up to like 10 messages saying, wow, listen, I just left my job today. Wow, listen, like because of you, I just retired my mom. Wow, listen, because of you, I was just able to pay my mom's hospital bills that she would have been dead if it wasn't for you actually introducing me to this opportunity. Like, understand that it's bigger than you. And then guess what? It's Friday, but you're not even in London at this stage. Like you're on holiday or something. You're traveling. You're building a business. You're doing events. You're in Miami at this stage, right? You're in Miami, and it comes to around 5 p.m. because that's when residuals drop around there. In fact, no, they drop a bit early there. They drop at like 2 p.m., 1 p.m., right? So it's like 1 p.m. and then you just see the notification and it says 125,000. I feel like, wow. You're like, yo, man, like you just feel such a sense of gratitude just because you stuck it through. That's Chairman 500, for those of you guys who don't know. And in fact, that's not even Chairman 500 because what they don't tell you is that they actually make a lot more than that. It's just crazy. And it's just because you kept it consistent. It's just because you didn't give up. It's just because you didn't allow the negative emotions, the negative thoughts, the negative realities in the short run, you didn't allow them to hold you back. You're like, you know what, like, let's keep going. So guys, I really want you to understand that, man. Look, the call's gonna cut off, so I'm really gonna end it here. But just those are the 3 key things, man. Faith, persistence, never quit because you will regret it. Right? And don't listen to people that want to give you negativity. Focus on people that are positive and focus on people that are uplifting you. In fact, what I want you guys to do, oh man, I don't even know if the call's gonna cut out before my call to action. All right, cool. Call to action. All right, what I want you to do is I want you to write down number 1 on a piece of paper. Write down your goal, right? Write down one of your reason why, like the biggest reason why. And I want you to write down again, even if you've got it written down. And write down, I'm never going to quit on this. I'm going to make it happen through IM Mastery Academy. I'm going to make it happen through trading and through building, right? And then I want you to send it to the person that you're working most closely with as you do. There was going to be another thing I was going to say, but it's all good because the call's going to cut out and I want to get cut out. But guys, go back to the group chats and just blow it up. If you guys got some value, if you didn't get some value, then let them know as well so they know not to hop on next time. Other than that, guys, set your reminders. Next week, 8 p.m., we will be on the same time, and let's absolutely elevate. And let's crush it, man. It's not letting me end the meeting.